We're starting off high.
We can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot. Ah!
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a foo raid.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
trust a human to raise back wolves.
Before I would trust a pack of humans to raise wolves.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome back.
What up, fools?
To Do Fools Agree. I am your host, at the Geeky Coach, Michael Reggie. Out here as always with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings. Clifford, how you doing tonight?
I'm alright, you fool motherfuckers.
Crazy. Damn. Man, it was a
out the gate
busy fucking week. And the news and everything else, like, the shit was crazy this week. It's crazy.
At least it stayed on par with the rest of the year. Shit.
Malcolm already in the chat asking where his shirt's at. We got you, dude. I got you one. I just haven't made it to a post office. Even Aaron was hitting me up today. Like, where my shirt, dude? I'm like, come on, man. I've been busy. I was joking. I said this to my wife, and it was a bad idea. But I said I'm working 4 jobs right now. I got my real job that pays the bills. I got football, which is fucking killing me, and I'm not going to talk about tonight's game other than to shout out to Mira Mosley Allen for his scoop and score touchdown from the defensive end spot. I had a bunch of tackles for a loss, too. Other than that, it was a blowout, but I'm not going to talk about it anymore because shit pissed me off. And then I said, this is the part I got in trouble with my wife for, because I said I'm teaching, and I conceded. I'm like, okay, so I'm substitute teaching. Like, the teacher's putting the lesson plan out there, but I'm executing it. And I know they're doing more than that. I know they are, but like, at least acknowledge the fact that I'm working 10, 20 hours a week fucking doing school for my kid.
Listen.
And then this, and obviously this is the fun one. This is the one where I get to come hang out with my boy every Friday night, and I'm appreciative of that. So,
hey,
it's all good, but it's busy, man. It's busy. And then when you throw all the current event shit on top of it, I mean, the good news is we got a shit ton of stuff to talk about tonight.
Right.
So,
you know.
With that, do you want to get us going on the on any inadvertent thoughts you got?
Listen, I told you my inadvertent stems around a new show I've been watching.
Okay. All right. You want to get into that? I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it. I did watch the first 2 episodes kind of in the background while I was working today. But you wanna get into this Amazon Utopia?
I have no choice but to get into it.
All right. Well, let's hear it. You told me you had a hot take, and I'm wondering if we're on the.
I guarantee we're on the same page.
How they make this show so quick?
It ain't even how they made it so quick. I know who the real life Mr. Rabbit is.
What you got?
Tell me Jeff Bezos ain't Mr. Rabbit. Jeff Bezos is Mr. Rabbit, and it's ironic, and I was talking to Ashley about this earlier today. It's ironic they would drop that motherfucker on Amazon, huh? Right. It's like they just putting shit right in your face. Like,
right. They're like, this is what we're doing, and guess what, bitch? You can't do shit about it.
Like, have this reality right here for you. This non-fiction fiction.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is crazy. Like,
It's
okay,
historical
so let
fiction.
me. That's exactly what it is too. But
So,
I guess you can't
for
even.
the folks that don't know, you want to give a kind of just a brief overview of what the show is?
Definitely give a brief overview. So basically, the show is about a father and a daughter. Father was a scientist. Um, Mr. Rabbit is, or the guy that we were talking about, basically kidnapped the father and the daughter, and said if the father didn't help him make like bio weapons, he would kill the daughter. So that's what he did basically, and then it, without saying too
So,
much of the story.
so for my Star Wars fans, the daughter is like Jyn Erso in Rogue One, and her dad is the dude who made the Death Star because they basically threatened to find his daughter and kill her. It's same idea. Same idea.
Oh, okay, okay.
So
I thought
Rogue One is the one where it all centers around like them getting the Death Star plans
with
and
the
the main
with the girl,
with the girl. Yep. And the
and
dad
an
is
Italian or Spanish looking dude.
yes. Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
I think
yep.
I saw that. I mean,
it's
that.
probably the best one that they've done since Disney bought them out.
Is that
So.
the one with the blind dude in it too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cheer it in way. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Yep. I saw that one. I definitely saw that one. But
But go ahead. Sorry.
no. You good. But basically, without saying too much, it's the fabled tale where once the Mr. Rabbit or whomever, the government, whoever they may be, got what they wanted, they played the scientist dude like he was crazy.
Right.
Got him locked in an insane asylum and all that. And as he's in the insane asylum, he draws comic books with clues hidden in them to explain what the government is doing. Basically on some Simpson shit where the comic book would come out hella before, and then here comes the actual shit, and people are noticing in the comic that there's a correlation between that and what's going on in life. And it's basically a group of people trying to figure out what's happening and stop it from happening. But it is crazy ironic how like it is. I know you've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. But it's one that I may have to restart because Shar and I are looking for a show to watch, and I think she would actually.
You're definitely gonna have to restart it because if you were watching it in the background, there's hella shit that you didn't catch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's one of those shows where it's shit you didn't catch when you watch it. Like you can watch it over again and be like, "Oh, I missed that."
Yeah. All right. Well, good
I didn't even see that
shit.
part.
I mean, I almost missed the shocking ending to the second episode. So.
Man, listen. It's my kind of shit. It gets my attention. It's not for the faint of heart. Let's put it that way.
No, I'll agree with you on that.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but it's a great show. It's exactly what's going on right now. And Jeff Bezos is Mr. fucking Rabbit. I said it right now.
So just because I think we got the question, it's Utopia on Amazon.
Oh yeah,
on Amazon. I can't remember if we actually said the show name or not.
I think so. Yeah, I said it when I
think
started.
You did. I think you did, but there was a question. So
it's a great show. It's a
little too close to home right now.
It is right. It's frustrating how it's just so eerily similar to what's going on right now. But I will say this, is there's a twist in the end.
Is there? All right.
Correct.
All right.
I won't say what it is, but it definitely twisted me. And I started thinking like, well, I'm not saying I agree, but...
I mean, is the twist that the president of the United States gets the disease?
Well, listen.
Or tells them that he gets the disease?
Oh, no. This isn't one of those. Like, this is one of those shows where they don't even say... It's not even government shit. You know what I mean? It's on some Jeff Bezos shit where the dude running it has so much power, he just operates outside of the law, and it's not really much you can do.
Right.
There's not much you can do about it.
I mean, I will, like I said, you told me to check it out. I think you told me today. I think for some reason, you and I were texting at 5:30 this morning. I was trying to figure out. Right. It was right before I went on my my long walk for the morning, so it gave me something to look forward to.
That's what I need to be doing. Shit, I'm up.
I tell you what, man, my what's killing me right now. I actually talked to our trainer about it. Like my back has been fucking killing me on these walks, and I just got new shoes, so I don't think that's it.
You said on the walks.
Yeah, and it's the only time. Like, I'm fucking going and putting up deadlifts and squats like fucking nothing. It actually feels better after I deadlift and squat than it does after like a long walk. So I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, you know what? That may be because, after you do deadlifts and squats, you expect yourself to be tight and a little sore back there.
True.
You don't do that walking, so you're probably thinking like, well, damn, you know what I mean? When in actuality, it's probably not too much worse than the deadlift or the squat.
You're probably right. I don't know. Shit's killing me. But it's all good. Nah, so I know I don't want to go on this for too long, but one, you made me watch a recap of the debate.
Right.
For once, I didn't watch it because I
knew it a rap battle.
I knew it was going to be a shit show. My favorite part of it is Trump, and it may have just been the way you had it cut, or the way it was cut on the World Star recap that you sent me. But he's talking about how he's got more black folks voting for him than anybody, or he's done more for black people. And then he immediately goes into how he's got the backing of law enforcement. I'm like, wait a minute. How do those two things work?
Listen, I'm telling you, the funniest thing I saw was they did the debate over and they put that Eminem shit in the background like he was rapping
from 8 Mile.
I thought that shit was funny as fuck.
Well, and it funny
was a rap battle.
It's funny you say that because the thing that, like, my favorite way to watch debate recaps is actually to watch what is it, Shamoyo, accent on the yo, does all like the songify the debate stuff.
No, I don't know anything about that.
That's a YouTube channel. It's a Shmoyoho or something like that. It's hard to spell. But it had me going back through all the songified debates because they'll go through and basically auto-tune debates. They actually do it with a bunch of different shit. Like, did you ever hear the what was it? Charlie Sheen's like Tiger Blood. Did you hear the song that went with that? So they're the ones that do those songs. Like they did that. They did the scoreboard one. The kid that's like, I don't remember. They songified this kid who's given like a post-game speech about, we're gonna battle, we're gonna fight. I think I heard that battle too. The scoreboard.
No, I'm thinking of the dude, the one gay dude. He said he's climbing in your window.
Yes. Antoine. Yep. Same guys. Yep. So that channel does like current events shit, and like the debate stuff is hilarious. Especially, the problem is that the shit that they're doing, like when it was Romney Obama debating, was funny because it made it outlandish. Like the problem is that this is more, the songs are more serious than the fucking debate.
Right. Listen, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. You hear what I'm saying?
So I guess go ahead.
I was just gonna say I wasn't gonna watch it. I'm not about to watch that shit.
No. And
I don't care how entertaining y'all motherfuckers claim it to be. I'll catch the highlights. Right. There will be highlights, y'all.
Because I'm not wasting 2 hours of my life to hear Trump talk over people.
Right.
So and then the news comes out this morning that he has COVID. It's very convenient that it's right after the first debate.
Right.
And we were talking about this as the football staff before the game. Like, can you imagine any other time in history where we would be questioning whether or not the president actually was sick? Like, it's a mess. 2020 is a hot mess. And did you see that there are 2 full moons in 2020?
2 full moons in
October. What? In October, in this month. So there's a full moon tonight. The harvest moon is tonight, and the blue moon is at the end of the month on the 31st. So October is fitting to be a fucked up month. You get 2 full moons in the same month.
Maybe not. Maybe
that's like, you remember in the old Nintendo where you had to push the power and the reset button at the same time? Maybe that's what it is.
Man.
So that you saved your game.
Don't reset this shit. Motherfuckers might have to start this level over.
Well, I mean, that's what you're calling for, I thought.
No, I don't want to start
equality
this level
or extinction, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a reboot.
But that don't mean we restart. Listen. We can handle that level 21. Let's get through level 20 first.
Oh man. I'm trying to think if I had any other inadvertence this week. It was like I said, it was a busy week, man. And it was kind of a short, like we took Monday. I took a half day on Monday, and I still think I worked a full day. Like,
yeah, I think I'm doing that this Monday.
Yeah, I don't
Especially,
know.
are we still on Sunday?
Oh yes. So for the fans out there, I have secured a way to watch the Bills Raiders game, and I have gotten permission from my wife,
right,
for Mr. Jennings to come over, and we're gonna watch the Bills Raiders game live here in the studio. So we'll see how that goes.
We wouldn't be able to show it though.
We can't show it. We can't
right.
show it because that's a way to get we get strict real quick.
Right. That would be nice.
It will be fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be the first Bills game I actually get to watch this year, so I'm excited. Especially when they torch the Raiders. So
yeah, we'll see, sir.
Josh Allen going beast mode, baby.
We shall see, sir.
Oh, I just hope y'all don't. But
yeah. Keep hoping, motherfucker, because I'm telling you, we coming. Are we home or you home?
I think it's in Buffalo. But if we go to Vegas, I'll give you the edge.
It don't much matter. We got the edge in Buffalo.
Get the fuck out.
We got the edge.
You know it's October in Buffalo, right? There's chance for snow.
You all right about that now? That you are right about? Nah, because Trump said global warming ain't real.
Well, if it's not real, then you got a better chance for snow.
Well, no, we all know Trump gives fake news. So
well, and that's the reason why I'm questioning whether or not he's sick, because he tweeted it out.
I could definitely understand it, sir.
Man,
I don't trust that motherfucker as far as I could throw him.
And he's a pretty heavy dude, so you might.
I wish I could throw him. Wish I could throw him.
Oh no, it's in Vegas.
Mm-hmm. See, ooh.
I might drop it down to a split then.
Yeah,
I might have to take the spread there.
You coming to the Death Star, baby. Have you seen that new stadium?
I have not. I haven't seen the stadium.
They call it the Death Star. That shit, it looks definitely interesting.
Does it?
Yeah, definitely looks.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it then.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see if I can get in touch with Carl and see if he's still a Raiders fan now that they moved out of his hometown of Oakland.
When the last time you talked to him?
It's been a minute, dude. I've reached out to him, but I've only reached out to him on Messenger. I should just fucking text him.
He's still in the military, or are you done with that?
Nah, he's been done with that. He was done with that before he came to school. I mean, he's technically eligible for like 80% disability or some shit because he had his leg blown off while he was.
All right.
And then they put him back together, and then he was the fittest motherfucker I knew.
Right, that motherfucker got his leg blown off. He was better than me. That motherfucker was back out on the football field. If they give me that motherfucker 80% disability,
right?
Give me the whole buck, motherfucker.
Shit, no doubt. But
I went in for that on crutches. They denied my black ass 2 times. And then denied me Medicare, saying I'm too high risk because of the fucking shit. I said, okay.
That's fucked up.
You're probably right, but...
Yeah, you probably the definition of high risk. I would hate to have.
Listen, I live my life high risk. You don't want me on your insurance. I'm still kind of tweaked out with this shoulder over here.
Oh, man.
My shoulder and my back still fucked up. It's slowly healing, though, but in certain positions I can't put it in.
I told you, it's just getting old. I feel the same way.
Listen.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. What do we want to get into? We
you name it, sir.
You want to talk? Go ahead.
I think you was about to take the words out of my mouth.
You want to talk UFC?
Let's do it. Because I already knew the Izzy fight was going to go exactly like that.
Yeah, but we were both wrong on the other one.
Both wrong about Dominic. It was not the same Dominic that came to the ring that came into the ring with John Jones. No. And that's also a fact, Jack. But you know how it is in the fight world. You win some, you lose some. Sometimes listen, that's not like basketball. When you come out and got an off night, you're not missing shots. All right?
Right.
a lot different sport.
You
all right,
taking shots.
Right. If you have an off night in fighting, it's probably gonna be bad for you. But that was
if you have an off night in fighting, you're gonna have a bad time.
Listen,
that's a
period.
South Park meme for you. I know you're not a big South Park fan.
I didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah. But yeah, Izzy got it. Reyes did not.
He got it. And now John Jones talking about, I'm coming back down to the light heavyweight and I vow to rip Izzy's arm off.
I saw that.
That's going to be the only way you beat him. That's going to be the only way he beats him. You have to get that man on the ground. He's never been.
Yeah.
Get him. You got to get him down on the ground. That's the only way you're going to beat him, because even John Jones isn't taking him on the standing up side.
Right.
They're both the same height. John Jones might be closer to 6'6".
Yeah,
but Izzy's a solid 6'4", maybe 6'5". That's not a big deal. Only issue is the weight. But if y'all both coming in at 205, it doesn't much matter anyway. You know what I mean? That's an even fight.
Yeah, I mean, it should be.
And I think I got to give it to Izzy with the edge, just for the simple fact that he's younger, he's quicker. I was wrong about his age, too. He's 31.
Okay.
I didn't know he was that old. I think I was saying 27, 28. He's 31.
I thought you said late 20s.
But he's definitely, without a doubt, he's leagues faster than anybody I've seen in the UFC.
Well, and did he come out and say he wants to get another fight in this year?
Yeah, he wanted to fight.
Do we think that's going to happen? Because that would be the one to watch.
I cannot think of the dude's name. But if he gets it, I don't know if it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah,
because the dude he wants to fight he's an undefeated fighter, but he's only had 7 UFC fights. Like he's a new guy. You know what I mean? It's almost like
gotcha. You're
picking on him. You know, not picking on him because they're trying to pose him to be the next up and coming guy for him, but still, like that win just gave him 101 fight sports wins.
That's insane.
Between boxing, kickboxing, and MMA, that gave him 101 wins.
That's nuts.
That's some knockaround guy shit.
Right. No,
like,
that's...
On the road to 500, you develop tough skin. Isn't that what Vin Diesel said? Listen, he got 101 fight sports wins. That's ridiculous.
Did you see?
Even John Jones is like, he has more experience than me. He's younger than me. He's faster than me. But I promise I'm going to rip his arm off.
Right.
Okay, John.
Speaking of Vin Diesel, did you see he put out a pop song?
I did. And you know what? It is not that bad.
I mean, it could be worse.
Have you heard it?
No.
It's not that bad. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not that bad. I heard it on a podcast. And when I heard it on the podcast, I was like, let me hear this in real life. Like without coming through the podcast speakers.
Right.
He's not, I mean, his singing's not the best, of course, but he can carry a tune and the song is catchy.
All right. I mean, I heard it actually in a similar way. I heard it through a podcast as well. So
I can see the little I can see it going big in Canada because it has that island kind of vibe, but I can see the little 13 to 15-year-old little girls, little white girls, and all them
jamming out to fucking Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I can see it on Now Volume 245. I can see that. I can see that happening.
You're not wrong.
I'm sure it's already on Kids Bop.
I'm sure.
He probably released it on Kids Bop.
Oh man! So what about the other fight, man? What is it? Blockowitz?
Yeah, who fought Reyes?
Yeah,
he got the KO. He got the K or the TK. What? I think he got the TKO. But
second round TKO.
But yeah, like I said, it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same Dominic. You know what I think it was?
What?
I think he got the Andy Ruiz syndrome.
Okay.
And I know you don't follow boxing too much, but when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, that's what arguably they said that might be one of the biggest upsets in boxing next to Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson.
Got it. Okay.
And what happened was he beat him in such dominant fashion, he thought he was better than what he was.
Makes sense.
Now, you talk about having a bad night
Yeah.
in fighting. Joshua had a bad night that night.
Right.
Now, Andy, I'm not taking anything away from him because he's an excellent boxer. He may look tubby, but he's an excellent boxer. But what happened was when he got that win, he thought he was better than what he was, so he didn't train as hard that second time around, and he went in that ring off of confidence and not conditioning.
And that's what you think happened to Reyes?
That's exactly what happened. Only difference in UFC and boxing is boxing you may be able to survive 12 rounds.
Right.
But in UFC, when I take you into deep water, I have permission to do whatever it takes to get you out of there.
Well, no doubt.
And he wasn't
the fact
prepared
that
for that.
It was a second round TKO and a 5
He wasn't
round
prepared
fight,
for
right? It was a title
Right.
fight, so 5 rounds. Like,
that's almost unprofessional.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Getting beat in the second round, yeah, it's
You're
definitely
expected as a champion to at least make it to those championship rounds.
Well,
that means you have to survive the first 3.
But that goes back to our conversation, 2 weeks ago, right? Where even if you win that fight, you're not a real champion. You're not a real champion,
right? Because it's a vacant.
Until you defend that belt, which I think is funny if Jones stays at light heavy and then waits for Izzy to come up, and it's like, would you even consider Blachowicz the real champ at that point if the champ that vacated decided to stay? Like, you know what I mean?
Even that, I know exactly what you mean, and even more interesting to put it this way is even if you are the champion, no one wants to see you.
Right.
We want to see the 2 contenders go at it, and that's the champ.
Well, at that
even
point,
before they fight you, that's the champ right there.
They're the real champ going. Well, and I think that's what ends up being interesting is if Jones stays at light heavy to fight Izzy, would he stick around to basically take the title back, or would then he go up to heavyweight?
Who, Jones?
Yeah, because isn't that what he's talking about?
If Jones gets beat, he's going up to heavy.
Well, I mean, even if he doesn't, though, like, let's say he wins that fight, does he stick around to go battle Blachowicz and get another UFC title? No. So basically, he would stay just to fight Izzy and then peace out regardless.
He did post that. Well, no, that was after the fight where he posted, would I be petty if I went back down to light heavy to get my belt back? That's without Izzy even saying he was interested in moving up to light heavy.
I mean, that's just funny to me because that's my whole thing with working out where I'm working out is I put up 455 on the squat this week. I didn't do a video because people give me shit about my videos. But I did 455 on the squat.
Put
you know why?
Put your videos up, man. Drop your nuts on these hoes.
You know why I did it?
Why? Because somebody beat your...
No, nobody beat it. The young buck in the other division had a 455.
Oh, for real? So you had to...
So I had to take the overall on the board.
Right.
Which I think I did in the deadlift, too. The bench, I don't know if I can catch, but... My workout girlfriend, don't tell my wife, she's got...
Everybody has one.
She's my age, or at least in my same bracket, and she's got the top on, I think, the bench. And she was basically talking shit to me. She's like, you could have done more. I'm like, no, but I just wanted to beat the kid. And then she's like, well, you should go for one of the other things on the board. I'm like, all that cardio shit? No, I'm good. She's like, you could do the bike. You could do the mile on the bike and get it. And I'm like, you're probably right. Doesn't mean I want to. I come in here to lift and feel good about myself. I don't want to hop on a bike and be exhausted afterwards.
But honestly, though, do you know how many laps we'd be running if the coach was on the top of the board in the high school? Do you know how many our whole team for junior, varsity, and freshman would be running laps?
Well, I will tell you that lifting is not a strong suit for the team I am coaching now. We are very athletic, but we are small. And they don't have the work ethic like I'm sure you did. My buddy Evan, who was a captain with me when I was in high school, who was a, 5'6", buck 70 DB, but he could put up 300 in the hang clean and I was just about to say
it was the smaller guys that usually lifted the most.
Well, and honestly, that's the way it's been for the guys that I've coached too. Like the year that we had at St. Charles where we ran the tables in the league or not ran the tables. We won the league and then we made the playoffs. Our linebacker that year was probably again like 5'6", 5'7". Quinn, if you remember some of the songs you did, like John Quinn, he was the strongest kid in the school at that point, and I was praying that he was going to finally knock off my hang clean record.
For real?
And he didn't, and I was like, oh man.
Listen, it was this dude at Gahanna. I think he was like a guard or something. He was real short and stubby, but when I tell you, it was like he could clear half the plates in
the weight room.
On the bench though, just like everybody would stop, like even the track that would run in the gym would stop and be looking through the windows when he was lifting. Like the whole weight room would have to stop and look at him because it was just crazy. It was amazing how much he could lift.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything like that shit.
Do you remember? One, Althouse, the dude that I lived with my senior year, and then Colby that I lived with my freshman year. They were both putting up over 4 in the bench, and I'm like, yeah, because you got them short, stubby arms, because you like 3-4 inches shorter than me.
Yeah, I mean that makes a difference. That does make a difference.
My favorite moment with Alt, because he fucking decimated me on the bench, man. But we did the combine 225 rep out, and I beat him by 2 reps. I think I got 24 and he got 22.
For real. So you got more stamina. He got more.
I did at that point.
Explosivity.
I tell you what, I put it on 225 on a bar now, and it's real slow on the bench.
Listen,
but I can still get 5 or 6.
And I might be able to get 1 up. I might be able to get, that's 2 plates on each side.
Yeah.
I might be able to get 1 up right now.
225. I mean, honestly, that was my big thing when I went back and started lifting again. I'm like, all right, I need to be able to do at least 225 in the clean and in the bench. And once I got that, I got my confidence back. I'm like, all right, I can fucking do this. And I put up, like I said, 3 bills in the bench, and that was a struggle. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, my freshman year when I was 14, I was putting up like 205 on the bench. I didn't really ever get much above that. To be honest.
I feel you. Bench was never my thing. I could hang clean and squat like a motherfucker. Bench, I think I got up to
my legs was what it was. I could hang with the big dogs with my legs.
Oh, I'm sure.
My arms was
and I'm with you on that.
I mean, it wasn't like I was weak, but I just couldn't, you know what I mean? Like it was, and then I guess I never took into account that I was a year younger than everybody else too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that definitely plays a factor when you're going through puberty, you know what I mean, and all that.
It definitely does. It definitely does. No, I tell you. Go ahead.
I just couldn't. Like, I was always upset I couldn't quite catch up with the best of my class. Like, I was always a couple pounds under, and I couldn't get there.
Well, and I mean, I was on the opposite side, right? Like, even as a junior, I was the strongest kid in my high school. And trust me, I was not naturally gifted with strength. I worked my ass off to get there.
Right. Oh,
and I still never put up more than 315 in the bench until, you know what? When I broke my leg my senior year and I couldn't do shit else. My favorite memory of that, though, was when I finally got cleared from my broken leg. There was a local high school, because their weight room was under construction or some shit. They came and worked out with us. And I was doing my first squat workout back. And they were in there lifting. I was getting a lift in, I think, after track practice. And the strength coach, I think, wanted to show off. And he chose me to be the one to show off, like, in front of this other school. There was 325 on the bar on squat, and mind you, this is after like 6 weeks not allowed to do shit because I broke my leg.
Right.
I did 26 reps for squats at like 325 my first day back because he would not let me stop.
I know, and I know how that is. Just one more. Give me another one.
Right.
Give me one more. You got another one, and you keep it moving.
And I'm like, Coach, you know I just
Did you
came
feel
back
it?
from a broken leg, though, right?
Did you feel? I mean, let's be 100 though. Sometimes you need that.
You do.
Because when I
I
first
tell you
got
what, I
shot,
won't do it now.
when I first got shot, my dad pushed me on some shit, and I like some shit I didn't think I would be able to handle.
Yeah.
And you kind of it's like learning to walk again. You gotta get your confidence back up to be able to.
I think that's what the problem is. And you know, I'm gonna sound like the old guy here. That's the problem with kids today. They don't push themselves past failure.
Right.
And I think, and I mean, in my
and then if
in
you
my
have
older age
on,
too, I'm with them. But I'm like,
you're young. You
right,
can bounce back.
Exactly.
You're Wolverine. Even if you break your leg right now, you can bounce back.
And your body is always stronger than you think you are.
Period.
And it's just whether or not you can tap into it at any given point. I tell you what, it's funny. My strength coach in high school used to say you have to sneak up on the weights. And so literally the day that I set the record at SC for hang cleans, which was 330, I like acted like I was leaving the weight room, and then I ran back and I strapped up real quick and I went,
right. Yeah, you got listen.
And I love doing that shit on squats, man. Doing that shit on squats, because squats you can do it real easy. Like you just run up there,
just hop under the bar. Yep. That helps.
It really does, though. Like it shouldn't.
That's that
it shouldn't.
explosivity. I'm telling you.
Oh man.
Listen.
Reliving
speaking of Lions, though, shout out to the Charlo twins. They both got their wins. One's unified champ. The one that took the L is actually on top now. He's the unified champion. He has all of the belts in his division. So God is good.
Good deal.
He got cheated, and now he has every belt in his division. What's popping?
That's
the
awesome.
older brother's now eyeing Triple G or Canelo.
Okay.
Mexican Ginger.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready for Canelo. I mean, Triple G would be a tough fight too, but because he's so young and quick, I think he could hang in there with him. But Canelo is just as quick and just as slick, and I think he hits a little harder.
Yeah. I
don't know. Charlo may hit harder, but Canelo is technical. He's just perfect. He's the perfect fighter in my book right now. Your only loss is the Mayweather. You're the perfect fighter right now. Period.
Well, good deal. Hey, speaking of praise be and all that, did I see it's your brother's birthday?
It is. Shout out my little brother. Happy cake day, little nuts. Enjoy your day. Drink one for me.
I like following him on Facebook and all that, trying to get his tattoo game going. I'm all for it.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. Shouts to you, my G. Don't do too much, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll get a call at 4:00 in the morning. That motherfucker don't sleep, boy.
I wonder what that's like.
Listen, hey, that's morning. And know that Utopia, it wasn't today. It was last night at 11:30.
Oh, I thought I got it at 5:30 when I got up.
Yeah, it was last night at 11:30.
And I texted you back, and I was shocked when you responded.
Because listen, I'm an insomniac.
I mean, I get it. I'm lucky that's not a problem. I'm actually very thankful for the fact that my son's soccer game is until 10:15 tomorrow, because those 8:15 games kill me.
Listen, kid, you better be ready to tuck and roll out the parking lot and hit that field, because we're gonna be into second quarter by the time.
I'm up. You know I'm up. You know
right.
who the
I would be up too.
You know who the problem is with getting out the door.
Oh, I listen.
It's her. It's not me. And Andrew, once I get him out of bed, Andrew has started doing this thing where he is he is turned into his mom in the morning, which is crazy, because for the longest time he was the one getting up at like 6:30 and waking us up and shit.
Right.
I'll tell you what, when we tried to get him to fucking school this week, he was 7:45. I'm like, dude, you are supposed to be out the door right now.
School is different than sports.
That's true.
Sports, you got to sneak up on the field. School,
It's true. You got to sneak up.
I don't feel like it.
Yeah, but the problem is his mom's a teacher, so she's got to be there on time.
I don't feel like it, Mom. Do it at home. Fuck, I don't feel like it. You're the teacher. Do it on my time. I don't feel like it. Do you want me in college or not, lady?
I got to remember not to let him talk to you.
Listen, I'm just saying. Because you know how my mom, and you know it's so funny, is I feel like I was so blessed and made nothing with it. Because my mom was the type, and my dad was the exact same way. My mom was the type that, are you done with your homework? Oh, you finished all your homework? Okay, well, read 2 chapters of this book and then let me know when you're done, because I got this math problem sheet that I want you to do before you go out.
I know all this. Remember, I got I was paid to tutor you your last year at our at our middle school together.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Oh man, because I was basically your mom was paying me to keep an eye on you.
That's basically what it was.
Keep him out of trouble. Make him walk to the library with you.
Basically it. And you did a halfway decent job. There are a lot of things that happen on the way to and from that library.
Well, especially when our girl Ashley, if you're out there, was walking with us.
When she joined the squad, it was no more Coda bus to the library. We'll make it there on foot.
We'll walk. Oh man! Speaking of the Coda bus,
that was good times.
It was, but our boy Gordon and I were taking the bus home 8th grade. After you were gone, you had gone to Gahanna, I think. I just riding the bus with him. So this is a little bit of a non sequitur, but trust me, it all connects. So Gordon and I used to ride the bus, and we used to talk geek shit on our way, because we'd walk from basically Maine to Broad to catch the Broad Street bus, so that because he lived right off of Franklin Park or whatever, and he and I used to play all of the Star Wars like flight simulator games, like TIE Fighter and X-Wing and all that shit, and they just dropped a new one, and I was transported back to being 10 years old again, 10 to 15 again, playing that game. Like it was so it's a new Star Wars game. It's called, I think it's Star Wars Squadrons. And it was a cheaper game, which is nice. But it's
talking about back when Gordon was out?
I'm talking about the reason that's where I said it was a non sequitur. He and I used to play games like that back in the day. Oh, and they just dropped it. They just dropped a new one. And it came out today, actually. And so once I was done with work, I hopped on the sticks for a minute and did.
Is it hot?
I like it, but I was always into those kind of games. So
it's very
much. I think it gets to multiplayer. I don't know. I'm assuming yes, you can be co-op, because I think it ends up being like squad versus squad kind of deal. So you can either do co-op or go against another fleet.
Right.
By the way, that's actually the Marvel Avengers game has that too. So. It's actually you can have people join you for like your campaign, and they can drop into your campaign and do like strike. It's kind of like Destiny, where they do like the strike team missions. Same idea. So if you ever decide to get into that, I'd be game. I'm not far enough in the game to have any, like, I only have 2 characters right now, but and I may not get too much farther until I beat this Star Wars game. So
listen, you know, if I get it, I'm gonna be on that bitch. I'm gonna have all the characters.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because if I get something new, I'm getting my money's worth out of it. I don't care what it is.
And what I've heard is like the actual main story. Like if you play it straight through and you're not terrible at fighting games like I am, you can beat it in 12 hours, 14 hours, which is real short in my mind. But then they have the multiplayer, and like you could. I think it's called like the Avengers Initiative or something like that, and you can basically that's when it becomes a multiplayer game after you beat the main story.
Okay.
And I think that's the way this Squadrons game is going to work too. Like I think it's going to have a pretty quick kind of campaign mode, and then it'll basically be a multiplayer game after that, like the same way like Battlefront and those kind of games are. But it looks, I mean. Like I said, it transported me back. Like it was to the point where I tried to plug in my old like flight stick joystick from
Right.
the PC, and my Xbox wouldn't read it. So I may actually invest in just getting a joystick just to play the game, because
Really?
I mean, man, like I said, it took me back to
Well, the
being.
joysticks ain't that expensive.
They're more expensive than you think to get the Xbox one that actually works. They're like $70, dude, which isn't terrible
Well,
for a controller,
right. Well,
but
controller's 65.
right,
So
right. I hear you. I hear you. The thing is, though, we're about to switch console generation, so I'm gonna buy it to
right,
fucking have it for what, a year.
right.
So I
Yeah,
was
that's
doing
something.
okay. I was doing okay with the normal Xbox controller, and the storyline's engaging. So basically, you flip back and forth between, at least in the story mode, you're flipping back and forth between playing for the Empire and playing for the Rebels, and so you're flipping
Oh,
back and
for
forth
real?
between like TIE fighters and X-wings, and I just love that shit. Like,
Right,
it's funny because, and this will actually segue into one of the other topics I wanted to get to.
right.
The So the ones that Gordon and I used to play were, there was an X-wing game where you could play basically as the Rebel Alliance, and then there was a TIE fighter game where you basically played for the Empire, and it runs
Right.
parallel to the original trilogy, like the first three movies.
The Empire
Yeah,
and
with like Emperor
Return of the
Palpatine,
Jedi
Vader,
and all
Return of the
that.
Jedi, all that
Uh-huh.
shit. And it introduced a, well, it didn't introduce, because the character was actually introduced in a set of novels, but the character of Thrawn is introduced, or is a major factor in that game. So
Okay. Is that what
Thrawn,
made you start reading that book?
yes, actually. So the first time I saw Thrawn was playing this TIE fighter game. And
This current one.
no, the one back from like the late 90s.
When Gordon and
Yep,
okay.
yep. So yeah, you're doing a great job of tracking. Thank you.
Yeah, I keep up, baby. I
know
keep up.
I know I'm kind of jumping. So Thrawn gets it, or for me, was introduced in that game. But what happened? Or but there was an author named Timothy Zahn who basically
Timothy
wrote.
Zahn.
Yep, Zahn.
Uh-huh.
And what he
That's how I
did
saw it.
was introduce a character called Grand Admiral Thrawn in a novel, and it basically takes place. So you know how the three movies that just came out with like Rey and all that. He
Well,
had
see,
based.
okay, I
Go
don't
ahead.
know. Okay, so of course, my grandfather got me hip to Star Wars, so I know the original three very well.
Yep.
Um,
The
After
prequels were
that,
trash.
with the episodes and all that shit, it gets hazy.
So
I don't know what I saw and what I didn't.
so basically, when Disney bought them
New
out
ones, all I know is Rogue, I
with
believe.
Rogue One, yeah,
I haven't seen the one with the black
with
dude
the
or
Black
anything like
Stormtrooper.
that.
So the series
No.
with the Black Stormtrooper, um, it's basically a sequel trilogy. So it takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy
Mm-hmm.
Zahn, this author, had actually written a trilogy of books that took place after Return of the Jedi back in the early 90s.
Okay.
And they didn't use any of his shit for the movies that Disney did, which pissed off a lot of fans, because a lot of fans consider his books to be like
The
canon in terms
right,
of like it's part of the actual story.
right.
So Admiral Thrawn, Grand Admiral
So
Thrawn is.
I'm
Go
sorry, I don't
ahead.
mean to cut
No,
you,
you're
but
good.
before you continue, were there two different writers of Star Wars? Was it George Lucas and this dude, or was he just the George
So
Lucas was just the producer
So
or
basically,
the
after
director?
after the original trilogy, we went 10 years and there was no new Star Wars.
Right.
After 20 years, George Lucas did the prequels with like Anakin, Obi-Wan, like before Darth
Okay.
Vader became Darth Vader, and that was when we
Right.
were in high school.
Right. Okay.
So he wrote
Okay.
this before the prequels came out, when we didn't think we'd ever see any more Star Wars. So he introduces this character called Grand Admiral Thrawn. He is a blue-skinned, basically looks like a human, but blue-skinned, red eyes, and he basically took control of the Empire after the Empire fell. So after the Rebels win
So
and
he's a
Return of the
bad
Jedi,
guy.
he's a bad guy.
Right.
And so they introduced this character in this series of books, which are phenomenal. So for any of our Star Wars fans that are out there, like the Heir to the Empire trilogy is must read, and it'll appease you a lot more than the fucking movies Disney has done.
I know Jakey is, I believe. I know he's real into that Star Wars shit. That's
Yeah.
probably somebody he'd probably like that shit.
Right. So this character gets introduced in that. He shows up in a lot of like secondary shit over the next couple of days. Or over the next couple of years. Like, he shows up in video games. He shows up, like, for fans, he was a legit character.
Right,
Well,
right,
when
right.
Disney bought it, they basically said, nope, none of the stuff that happened in books, none of the stuff that happens in comics, none of that shit was real. And so they basically said that only the movies counted, which is fair.
Right.
So this character gets reintroduced after the Disney merger eventually, but it's not entirely the same character. It's very similar. Like, it's same name. And I think they finally listened to the fans a little bit in terms of that piece. Now,
right.
I think the interesting thing with this character is, and this is where I'd like to get your take. So the whole philosophy behind this character is that he's a tactician, right? Like, he is very strategic minded, etc. His whole philosophy is that the art of a culture teaches you how they fight.
Right.
So basically, by understanding their art and their culture and their architecture, that kind of stuff, you understand your enemy and you know how to defeat them. It's very, art of war, know thy enemy.
Sun Tzu type
exactly,
shit.
Exactly. And so this entire character is based on that. And they've done... So he showed up in the cartoons first, which was... it was okay. But the books that they actually brought Timothy Zahn back to write have been phenomenal, at least in my mind. Like, 2 out of the 3 of his first trilogy, and they're starting another trilogy, and it's all about kind of how he came to power. And it's for me, I'm like, can you... I was trying to think in terms of real life and our world. Like, do you think that's true, that by understanding someone's art, you would understand how they fight?
Definitely. I definitely think that's the case.
And that's where I wanted to kind of get your take. Like, it's one of those things that it was so out there for me the first time I saw it, but like,
definitely,
he understands how to beat the Jedi because he understands if you take the Force away from the Jedi, there's nothing they can do. So he finds basically an animal that cancels the Force.
Oh, so really?
He has his ship stocked with that. And so it's shit like that. It is fucking phenomenal.
You could think of that. I mean, just with you saying that, so many things popped into my head. Like, when you think of art. Okay, so let's put it like this. You see graffiti in a hood, right?
Right.
It might be beautiful, like, you know what I mean, like very art worthy. But at the same time, that man didn't have a canvas other than that wall.
Right, exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? Which means he can't afford to put that on a canvas, which means you're dealing with guerrilla warfare. These are people that don't have strategic moves. They're just popping up in places, taking you out and moving on. Now you look at Mona Lisa, and that lets you know where, you know, what came of the Roman Empire, the end of everything was very structured and specific, down to the way she holds her hands in the picture. That lets you know that you're dealing with somebody that's going to call to arms and have a strategic play on things.
Exactly.
So, of course, art structure would tell a lot too, because are you putting all your money into these beautiful pillars or the structure of your walls? You know what I mean? Because you think about Americans, we have cheap shit. But why do we have cheap shit? Because everybody is supposed to have guns. So we meet you at the porch. We don't wait for you to shoot into our door. We don't need brick walls in you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The way people think. Now you go over to Italy and you see all that stone. Most motherfuckers probably don't got guns over there. You're in that stone for a reason.
No, exactly. So it's stuff like that. And it's that kind of stuff that gets me in terms of this character and this entire...
Is my skin blue or just my clothes?
Right. So it's this character, and that's kind of what resonated for me, was this just the way he approaches stuff. And
that might get me into Star Wars. I might want to know about him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, like I said, there's there's a trilogy of books that's out and another trilogy kind of on the way. So I just read the second trilogy. The first book just dropped like a week ago, and I'm almost done with it. And like I don't finish books that quickly. I haven't been able to put it down. Like,
Right.
I've literally been staying up late at night to read it, and it's all
I
about.
don't think I can read. I think I would have to wait for the movie.
I hear you, and I think it's actually one like I said, he shows up in the cartoon series and that kind of stuff, and yeah.
Or maybe I might. I don't know though, because I'm pretty imaginative, and I do like to create my own interpretation of a world from a book.
And I get that not everybody likes to read the books or whatnot, but it's it goes into like his thought processes. Like, he is looking at the he's looking at this latest book. He's looking at the silverware from this culture that he's trying to basically analyze. And he's like, well, you see how there's patterns on this side, and it's basically so that the knife points towards you, because basically at that point you're subservient. But if you flip the knife, it has a pattern going the other way, which shows that there's a hierarchy within that society. And that if you're a higher member of the society, you point the knife outwards to say that I'll get you. And then we got Uncle Dave joining us.
You don't know how to work the camera?
No, I don't know how
what
to
up,
work the camera. What's up?
How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing better now that I'm home from the hospital.
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw that pop up in the chat. You doing? I mean, if you're out, that's good. Praise be.
At first they thought I was having a stroke.
Oh, no.
Well, let me see you. I want to see how you looking. Let me see your pretty face.
How do I turn the camera on?
There should be a button that says like start video. Down on the bottom left-hand corner of Zoom.
Mike better than I don't know. And I ain't never joined with a phone, so.
Nope, I'm not getting nothing.
Oh, man. Well, that's some shit.
Listen.
Let me see if there's anything I can do on my side. All right, I just asked you to start video. Maybe you just have to click. We'll see if it works.
You damn boomer.
Fucking
I'm just
You ain't no spring chicken anymore either.
You know that's right. You know that's right. Shit. I'm trying to recoup as we speak.
Right.
Recoup from what?
Listen, a bike accident.
When did that happen?
A tricycle accident.
A tricycle accident.
Cliff loved the kids.
That shit happened about 2, 3. There you go. That happened like 2-3 weeks ago, and I'm still, motherfuckers ain't Wolverine no more. I wonder where my adamantium is.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, how's the West Coast?
Nice, beautiful. It was 112 today.
The fuck?
Oh my gosh, that's not beautiful. That's hell.
Right.
No,
it was 56 today.
Not with the new pool in the backyard.
Oh,
okay.
Living large.
You living that life.
Cliff, I keep telling you to come out here.
Listen, I'm coming once I get the money, but you know how tight it is around here, my brethren.
I know. All you need is a plane ticket. Everything else will be here for you.
I know that's right. I'm gonna do that. Plane tickets ain't that much.
So, Dave, I know you a nerd like me.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Thrawn? Are you familiar with the character?
No, I'm not. I heard you talking about it, though.
All right.
I think I like him.
Like I said, when I was reading the book.
I'm sure Daniel knows who it is.
Yeah, I know he knows. We'll see if he chimes in the chat. He's usually pretty active there.
I'm currently doing electronic eye push-ups.
What's that mean?
I'm trying to get so deep that I can see past the picture to the binary code, baby. I'm trying to enter the matrix via that red pill, baby. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Because I know you trying to pull some shit on me. Not you specifically, but the world. And I need to be able to see past that shit. This is just a picture, but I want to see them ones and zeros behind it.
I'll tell you what, it's funny you say that. Luke was talking about because I had a former player that's coaching the opposing team tonight, And Luke literally made the comment about, yeah, you SC boys are a different breed. I'm like, why do you think I drink? It's to slow my fucking brain down.
Listen. You know what? That may be right. That may be, you may be onto something. I ain't listen. What. I don't know nothing about it. I remember my mom threatened me with going to SC. I said I will run away, and I ain't never been more serious in my life. Now you send me to SC is like you sending me to jail. Is how I feel about it. I don't give a fuck about the education.
I mean,
you
it wasn't.
I'm about to stay around them boys all day, man.
It wasn't that far from. I tell you what, though. Without girls, there's no distractions. So you just do your work.
you do that, right.
Michael, who are you looking at right now? I don't fucking need a distraction. My brain is a distraction. You hear what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, I told her flat out, you put me in SC and you just put an expulsion on my record willingly is what you did. I'm not going to SC. Well, that's one time I got to put my foot down. I'm not going to SC.
And you understand that once I got my license, I was one of those guys that had a girl in every different corner of fucking Columbus. I had them along the outer belt.
Listen, I'm not.
You even had one from London a couple times.
Yeah, once or twice.
Listen, you better than me, because if you're from a certain side of town, I won't talk to you.
Oh, I understand.
If you're a woman in my dreams, I'm like, oh, you're from the west side? This one's for you, bro.
That was the only way to make sure they didn't find out about each other.
To keep them far apart, right.
Gas mileage was pain, though. Once I realized how expensive gas was, I settled down and dated one at a time.
See, I didn't never play that game.
I did, and I'm not proud of it.
I was just single.
Hey, Mike, how do I get one of those shirts?
I mail one to you. What size you need? I don't know if we got any small enough for you, Dave.
That's what I'm going to say. We haven't got no mediums.
I'm not that small anymore. I'm up to 140 pounds.
All right, there you go.
You do look a little thicker in the arm area.
I got a little heavier.
There you go.
You need that.
Well, I do need it. That's what the doctor said. I need the extra weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
For when I get sick like I did.
Right. You need that. You looking good.
Good deal. Nah, I mean, I can send you a large. I think that's the smallest we got.
That'll work.
You can sleep in it.
I'll send you my address.
All right, yeah, hit me up. I'll send you one.
Listen, out in that
everybody else is all like, give me my shirt, so why not?
Listen, out in Cali, that motherfucker shrink up on you real quick. So
I'll pay for it, Mike.
I'm not worried about all that. Just, it's a laziness factor. That's what I was saying earlier, is that I'm just lazy. Like, I haven't made it to the UPS store yet.
Listen, let me tell you something. My job sent me a computer and told me to send the old one back.
I said, nah, you got to come pick that shit up.
Listen, damn near, that motherfucker sat in my house for like a month and a half just because I went to the post office and didn't even look at the box. He like, sir, you gotta go to FedEx. That motherfucker is all the way by my Cumberland Ridge.
Nah, man.
You know what I'm talking about? Over by City Gate, and I was like, God damn, they working me.
I'll tell you what, there's a UPS store right in Bexley. That's where I'm going.
Do they send FedEx shit?
No, you're on your own there. They may have, there's maybe a Dropbox somewhere. You better look for a Dropbox. A FedEx Dropbox.
You think I'm about to send my job's computer back in a Dropbox?
Why not? It's not your problem. All you got to do is get that tracking number.
Until a motherfucker say we didn't get that computer, you're fired.
Nope. That's where you get the tracking number.
And then I'm going to be looking for that Dropbox, trying to rip it off the hinge to get that computer back, because I'm getting something out this motherfucker.
Cliff, where are you living at now?
Same old over there.
We can't talk about that on the show.
Off of Livingston.
All right.
He's east side.
Yeah, not too far from Mr. Rabbit. I call him Baby Bezos.
You silly.
Speaking of Archbishop Bezos, how do we start a business in our garage?
Well, you were supposed to get the t-shirt press, and then we wouldn't have had to pay for the shit.
Listen, I know I fucked that off, but
that's the phrasing that I would choose to.
I guess it depends on what kind of business you're talking about.
What? Listen, shoot me some ideas on what these you out there where the blind will buy anything. You hear what I'm saying?
I'll be right back.
And they have money to do so. So shoot me some ideas of what them coolest sheep are looking for, and I will deliver. Listen, they say art is what's popping the most in a economy drop. So I got some paintings over here I can get off. I've been painting and all that shit, getting back on my artistic. I'm lying. It's been a couple months since I pulled out my shit, but I do got some. I probably got 6 over here that I need to get off.
Yeah, there's all, like you said, people out here buy anything.
Yep, I'm telling you. They said you can
land of fruit and nuts.
The fruit and something. I'm just playing. I'm only kidding. Another Quaalude, she love me in the morning. Who was that from, huh?
What was that again?
I said, I was only kidding. Another Quaalude, she love me in the morning. What was that from?
Scarface.
You know it. Unk for 1,000. Listen, where you at, piss boy? You was taking a piss? He can't hear me.
I'm back.
Went somewhere, took his headphones off.
I did.
I said, where you at, piss boy? You was taking a piss?
You know that diabetes will get you.
Oh,
you got diabetes now?
I got diabetes. Yeah, man. It was
got the sugar.
3 or 4 years ago. I skipped a year of annual checkups, which was dumb. And I went in from a normal blood, whatever, to I was at 350 on my glucose. Yeah. And so, yeah. But
I'll tell you, somebody that's had it for over 20 years, it ain't nothing to fuck with.
No, it's not. And honestly, I do a pretty good job of managing it. The pandemic has fucking set me back a little bit, but
that's what's put all the weight on me is staying at home, not being able to go anywhere.
No doubt. And I'm thankful for football, and that was part of the reason why I got back in the weight room. Was I was walking every day and doing that kind of shit, but my diet was trash there for a while just because I'm home. Like when I was at work, I'd skip lunch and it wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
When I've got food right downstairs, especially leftovers from the night before.
Right, exactly. Well, my problem is I'm eating so late at night, it just sits on my belly.
Yep. Yeah. I understand that.
That's I eat one meal a day, and it got to be after the sun go down.
Yeah, see, I've been pretty good with that, at least over the last 3 months or so. Like
Well, see, as a diabetic, you should be eating smaller meals more often.
And right. I hear you. I hear you.
They say 6 meals a day if you try to lose weight.
Right, and that's never been my thing. And I
can't
force
myself.
Right, exactly.
I can't force myself. I'll get sick.
Well, they're even talking stuff like yogurt and stuff because they consider a meal if you like yogurt.
I could do a yogurt.
Yeah, I mean.
But you know, eating healthy costs money now.
No shit.
It does, and I'll tell you what. Like the thing is I don't eat. It's not like I eat like a bunch of fried shit. Like I've never been a fan of sweets. My wife brings fucking desserts into this house every fucking week, and I won't buy them when I grocery shop. Like I do salads for lunch most of the time. It's just. My problem was that I over-indexed on pasta that year.
Yep.
Speaking of sweets, did you hear that Subway's bread, they said it got so much sugar in it that it's no longer considered bread?
No, I missed that. Don't tell me that, because if I ever go back to Stelzer, that was my jam for lunch.
I was going to Subway. You hear what I'm saying? But they said 10% sugar in they loaves of bread. Jesus.
Yeah, that's why I pack mine and I bring a salad. Like
sugar. It's cake. Meat on cake right. Is what they say.
Right.
That's crazy.
And you know what? Like, I don't think I've talked about this on the show, but like Jimmy John's, I could not stand for the longest time because when I was at CMU,
I fuck with jams on the low.
I hear you, but when I was at CMU, that's all we would get for track meets. And the thing is we'd get those fucking sandwiches before we left in the morning, and then we'd eat them at like 1 o'clock.
Right.
And so, like, to me, Jimmy John's was nothing but a soggy mess because, like, in my mind, because of track meets and that shit.
Right.
And I finally got back to it because they were one of the few places that would actually, like, knew how to deliver to our building over on Stelzer.
I was about to say, because they definitely don't deliver to your crib.
No.
They don't deliver to my crib.
But
they'd be like, "Sir, you're right outside."
Right outside the delivery. You remember?
You just missed it.
You remember Pizza Hut? You remember Donato's?
I feel it too. I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel it too. Because if Grubhub fucks my order up one more time, I'm gonna tell the little homies in the neighborhood to give them a hard time when they deliver my food.
I'll tell you what,
Grubhub?
That Donato's and Papa John's wouldn't deliver to my place after dark when I lived on Champion.
Listen, Donato's in Bexley just started, and because they had to get used to, because they don't do it to everybody, but they had to get used to my spot.
They know you.
Right. Now they're like, okay, we cool there.
He tips well, it's fine.
And I always do too. Because while I'm joking about Grubhub, I have looked outside and been like, I hope nobody
nobody robs my fucking shit. Especially now that they're doing that contactless delivery. That's always my fear. Like, somebody's just gonna come take that shit off my porch before I get to it.
Walk up, take your shit, right.
And it ain't even about that. The way they knock on your door, it's like, if I was a neighbor outside, I'd be like, who the fuck is that? Like, you ain't got no uniform on, just pounding on my neighbor's door like that.
Malcolm calling out, you got to use DoorDash, Cliff.
Everybody's been saying that.
I tell you what. I
downloaded it and I put my card in and I tried to order something and it gave me some kind of error message. And I was just like, I'm done. Nope. And I uninstalled it.
I tell you what, I've actually become a fan of the Uber Eats too. Because they're usually pretty good too.
I think I'm on the low tier with Grubhub, is because every time I say Grubhub, somebody says, "Why don't you use?"
Well, and I'll tell you what, I think Grubhub. I think the menu prices on Grubhub are amped up another 10-20%. Like it's
I usually 15 to 17. Yeah.
There you go. I knew Mr. Restaurant would know.
Listen. Yeah, no, it's gotta be something because I'd be like, God damn. But $6.99 delivery charge.
I tell you what, Uber Eats will do delivers breakfast, which is the reason why I started using them. Because like on Sunday mornings when I don't want to do shit, I'm like I'll have them deliver Scrambler Marie's from over there on Livingston.
I don't know nothing about that. Is it good?
So Scrambler Marie's is a black-owned business.
I know that's right.
Here in Ohio, and they're primarily just breakfast. Like I think they're only open until lunch. Like they do a couple of lunch items, but they it's where I always take family when they're in town. So like when the family comes down from Buffalo, we'll go over there and do that. So
my nephew, me, another kid. Mm-hmm.
But it's all so it's good. We end up checking that out, and like I said, they're one of the few places that'll do breakfast delivery and all that. So
it's a
great thing on Sunday. David,
you're
killing me. Mute or do something.
I'm sorry.
You're all right.
He don't know where mute is if you
couldn't start the video.
If it's smack that. Hello,
I was distracting him.
It's all good.
No, you are absolutely fine.
Oh man, it's that kind of show tonight.
Listen, I'm having fun. That's all I know.
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm calling out, we need to go to Quaker Steak and Lube. I mean, That's one of the few
For
places where you
breakfast?
can get decent wings. I hope not for breakfast.
Yeah, I don't know about wings for breakfast.
No.
Well, I guess it depends on what you did the night before.
If it's breakfast or if it's just at breakfast time.
I don't give a fuck what I did the night before. It had to have been a disco ball for me to
I can eat wings. I can eat wings for breakfast.
no wings, no pizza, no nothing like that. Maybe
No
when I was
pizza,
a child.
wings, yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Cold pizza is one of my favorite things in the morning.
I need some bread, like some toast, some pancakes, some waffles, something.
I tell you what, Scrambler Marie's, their pancakes, their French toast, their waffles, all good. And they have, if you go in person, which I haven't since the pandemic, but if you go in person, they have bottomless griddles. So basically anything that's cooked on the griddle. So pancakes, waffles, or not waffles, but pancakes, French toast, that kind of shit. You get refills until you tell them to stop.
I can't do
That'd be good. That'd be good if bacon was on that list.
Right. I hear you.
See, I don't eat bacon.
Cliff, don't do the pork.
Yeah, I don't do pork.
Don't do the swine.
I'll do turkey bacon.
They got
turkey
that
bacon's
too.
Good.
And they got
depending
turkey
on
sausage
what brand you got.
What brand it is, right?
Yeah, you are absolutely correct.
Nah,
some of that pre-cooked bacon's not bad either. Stuff you just warm up.
Yeah. As long as you can make it a little crispy.
Listen, but all I know is that bologna turkey bacon is not
your thing. It's not it.
That bologna, it don't matter how long you put it in. You could put it in the skillet. You could put it in the oven. You could put it in the microwave. The microwave is the only way you're gonna get it crispy, and that's because you're nuking it.
Right. Cooking it from the inside out.
Right. Bologna bacon for me.
Oh, man.
Man. But all I do know, and I will say this, since we have a witness, a notary, if you will, tomorrow when the Bills...
No, that's Sunday. Tomorrow's
Saturday. Yeah. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm sorry. I apologize. All those S days, they get me. Sunday, when the Bills lose to the
Raiders.
I want 25 push-ups.
All right. We can do that. We'll put push-ups on the line and we'll fucking do them at the end of the show.
Push-ups.
Oh, man.
I witnessed it.
Push-ups.
Malcolm's with me. The Raiders will lose. I know you don't like me weaponizing the chat, but I'm going to weaponize that one.
Malcolm ain't shit.
I mean, he's an Eagles fan, so,
That don't mean shit. He's an Eagles fan. I feel bad for the
guy. Listen, Unc. Fools agree.
It's been a while, yes.
Right. You hear what I'm saying?
How are your Cowboys doing? I haven't watched them at all, or haven't followed them at all.
All offense, no defense.
You know what? Yeah, you're right, because I've seen Zeke do some things. I remember that in my mind. And
it's been Dak more than anything else.
Yeah.
That one game.
What? Dak hadn't been doing bad. No.
Well, that one game he had 3 touchdowns because I had him on my fantasy team.
Who have they played so far? Because I saw one out of 3. One out of the 3 they played.
Who have they played so far? They lost their first game to the Rams.
2-1.
They're 1-2, I think.
1-2.
They lost to the Rams. They lost this past week. I can't remember. I'm old. My brain.
Oh.
I mean, the Bills beat the Rams, so that's all I gotta say.
It's all right.
Bills are doing good this year.
The Bills are great in the first 2 quarters, and then in the fourth, they seem to suck bad in the third. They have.
We suck bad. We suck bad in the third too. So it may be a very close game.
They let teams back in the game. Like, I think all 3 games they've gone up big early and then have fucking squandered the lead. Like last week, they blew a 25-point lead and had to come back at the end to win it.
You know,
you don't want to do that.
You
with
know,
us.
the bookmakers were going nuts, too.
Right.
You don't want to do that with us. Shit, the Saints had us by what? What was it? 16 or something? 16-0, and we came back and won that 35-32 or something like that.
Something like that.
I saw that stadium clip when I was in Vegas a couple months
The
ago.
Death Star.
It's a beautiful facility.
Didn't I say that, Mike? You went
did.
into it? Did you go into it,
No, they wouldn't let anybody in, but they had drawings.
The
and stuff.
outside itself just looks crazy.
Well, and the new stadium that the out here in Cali, the SoFi, is nice too. That there were
And
Chargers.
Mike, the Chargers are in LA. I meant to tell you that.
Oh,
they
are
are
they?
in LA now.
I couldn't remember.
I knew I wasn't crazy. But I never understood that. Now they got a Lakers Golden State situation. Or not, I mean Lakers Clippers situation.
Okay, yeah.
Where
well,
y'all both share the same.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
I think that might change if the Lakers win it all.
But it
I
ain't
think
gonna change for the Rams and the Chargers.
No, well, it's worked out so far.
It has worked out so far.
I mean, they played last year at the same stadium, and then with the new stadium.
You know
opened
what?
this year.
It means somebody's always home in LA.
that's true. They always
Whether
have a
you
home
got
game.
the Rams or the Chargers, you will always have a game.
So
to go
they-
to in
so
LA.
they
That's
making that
smart.
rent
That's
money.
actually smart.
They making that rent money.
Well, the thing out here, though, is you'd be surprised. People don't go to games out here.
No, because there's other shit to do.
Well, that and the fact that if it's a 1 o'clock televised game, you got to get up at 10 o'clock to go to the stadium.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's with me out here with the Buckeyes. I got to get up at 9 o'clock to be
To
ready
watch
for a
the-
10 o'clock kickoff.
Well, so far you haven't had to worry about that this year, so.
What's that?
Well,
October?
This is true. This is after
October?
I redid. This is after I redid my whole room in Buckeyes stuff.
By the way, Malcolm is going off in the chat, so I'm going to read through
Yeah.
a couple of all these. So he said, y'all Cowboy fans say each year that y'all be great and lose. We usually win the division, talking about the Eagles. Cowboys
who's
are
the
1
Cowboy
and 2.
fan?
Cowboys are, well, David's a Cowboys fan, Uncle Dave.
Oh.
Cowboys are 1 and 2. They lost to the Rams and Seahawks and beat the Falcons. He said Cowboys
think
may
about
lose to
myself.
the Browns, which is the
They
biggest
ain't gonna
insult.
lose to the Browns.
Which is the biggest insult you can leverage on somebody. Michael Thomas was hurt, Cliff, and y'all lost to the Pats. Talking about the Raiders. And then he
Who
said,
have y'all lost to?
he said Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers their own stadium. They're moving out the basement.
Who have y'all lost to? Philly.
Everybody.
Philly.
Everybody. They've lost to everybody.
I think y'all lost to Detroit. Listen, y'all ain't shit. I don't want to hear nothing out of your mouth right now.
I mean,
We ain't
after
talking
that,
basketball.
after that Raiders Pats game, I am curious to see what the Bills do against the Pats. After all my shit talking.
Yeah, right. But Mike, did I not say this? I said this before the season started.
did.
I said I think Cam fits very well.
I agree with you.
Into a
I agree with you.
Belichick system.
So maybe we split that 1-1 with them. We take it at home, they take it at home. Maybe something like that. And honestly, at that point, we probably win the division. So
I did say that the Raiders are going to win it, but that was just my unbiased loyalty.
I understand. And
But
we will
before the
watch that
season
game
started-
live in person, and all the fans can watch us watching it if they want. We'll see how that does. That may.
Well,
that
y'all
may,
ain't got Cam, y'all got Tebow, and I don't know how far Tebow gonna go.
I'll
just
tell you
running
what,
like
Josh
that
gonna run over
against
you. It'll be all
Silver
right.
and black, because
But-
we'll try to hurt you on purpose.
But for everyone that's tuning in tonight or tuning in the podcast tomorrow, join us live, and we'll see if this is something we do going forward. We'll do one NFL game, we'll do one UFC or boxing match, and see what happens in terms
Yeah, I
of
would love
viewership.
that.
So
I think that might be the thing that gets new people.
I think on that side, do we do a? So I would imagine we don't do the podcast version for that. That's strictly just kind of a live, and we'll leave it on YouTube. But I can't imagine that being enjoyable on podcast.
Yeah, I can. Well, it depends. I feel like we got to see how it reads.
That's fair.
I think the NFL game would work better on the podcast than the UFC fight.
Yeah. Well, UFC fight, we may actually get more live viewers just because people aren't, if they're not ordering the fight, they may just listen to us to hear what's happening, right?
Right.
NFL.
I mean, it's a lot of motherfuckers like that. No, it's that's what I'm saying. It's a lot more motherfuckers that will order or watch the game as they listen because you're getting a different commentator. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I don't hate the idea of us
Dilfer.
being like an alternate track to the commentators. I think what's interesting is I don't necessarily know because of the delay though. Like even if you're watching it live, that you know what I mean? Like we'll be 15 seconds behind.
All I'm saying is mute this fucking Pearl Jam CD and play Puff the Magic Dragon, and it syncs up perfectly.
Oh man,
that wasn't who that was. Who was that, Uncle Dave?
Who was what?
It wasn't Pearl Jam. Who did Puff the Magic Dragon?
It definitely was not Pearl Jam.
I just said a white rock band, but I know it's older than that.
Oh, okay. You go say a white rock band.
Right, because there's some...
Why you got to be like that? Why is it got to be a white rock band? Can't be a black rock band?
I mean, are there black rock bands?
You never heard of Prince?
There's definitely... Well, listen, that's what I'm saying. You got to go back to Billie Holiday and all that if you really want to get into it.
Etta James.
Listen, motherfuckers was on the rock a long time ago. But I know Puff the Magic Dragon.
I can't remember who did that.
It wasn't the Rolling Stones.
No.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
God damn, that's gonna bother me though.
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Weren't they the ones that did?
Could be them.
I think that's who did Puff the Magic Dragon. And I'm not good on music, but I think that's accurate.
It might be.
All right. Now I got to look it up. We're going to do a little live look up.
Because they did the movie in the album. Or not an album, but what was it, soundtrack or something?
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
You was right. Look at you.
I got the pool.
Look the pool.
Get Bar Night Trivia, baby. Let's go.
We might have to take over the world on the trivia night.
Trivial Pursuit night.
I mean, we tried to do the You Don't Know Jack trivia, and then we fell off.
That was because it was a weeknight. Well, I could do it Zoom wise. I just couldn't go over. You know what I mean?
I hear you. We might have to try it again. Who knows?
He's got to get up early in the morning.
Right. And you know I'm an old man. I go to bed early. Listen, I was upset with myself how early I went to the bed. Especially with me being an insomniac.
Right.
I've gone to bed this week before the sun's gone down.
That's crazy. Hey,
which means I'm up from approximately 12 to 3.
You should talk to Uncle. I mean, that's something you two should talk about right now is
I've been insomniac for years.
Man, listen. I used to not need that much sleep though. You know what I mean? I used to just be...
Yeah, well, trust me, you're going to need more sleep.
Right. Now it's like, oh, that didn't work. I need like a couple more hours. But I planned for that early. Now that I'm getting older, I'm like, okay, you're going to wake up in the middle of your sleep for about an hour regardless.
Well, I found like my doctor put me on this thing called a psychosomatic. No. It clears your head, dude. Doesn't give you a buzz or nothing, but clears your head.
Nope. I don't want it. I also think I'm narcoleptic, but I won't dare listen.
Insomniac and narcoleptic. Wait a minute.
Maybe that's why I can't sleep at night, because I doze off throughout the day all goddamn day long.
You take little naps. Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy too, because I'll feel exhausted 1 minute and I'll do a little 5-minute doze off and catch myself and be like, oh, I'm ready for whatever we're ready to do.
Let's do it.
I am energized. Then I get up at night and I'll be like, I can't sleep. It's almost like sitting on a toilet and you can't shit.
Right.
Which is the worst. Although I tell you what, when you've got a toddler to like an elementary school kid in the house, It's the only peace I get. I'm okay when I go in there and I don't have to actually shit. I'm like, okay, well, at least I got 5 minutes of peace.
That's how I know you ain't there yet. Because if you was there, you would have a stash spot in the bathroom.
Well, he started kindergarten, didn't he?
He did. He is a kindergartner. He
Congrats to my nigga.
I tell you what, he is 4'1". We measured yesterday. He's 4'1", 90 pounds as a kindergartner.
Jeez.
He's a fucking monster.
Be a future lineman like that.
Right, no doubt. My wife. So it's funny. We've been. We are enrolling him at my wife's school. So we're paying tuition for it. And I looked at my wife the other day. I'm like, look, I'm fine with him going here through elementary, but if he actually wants to play sports, I don't know if he's staying in that district. I don't know if he's staying in Bexley if he's going to play sports.
Why?
Not at all. No.
Because Bexley is garbage at sports. They are fucking terrible.
No.
They have made the playoffs once in the last decade.
Hold up real quick.
So my conversation is, he could end up at a private school for middle school, high school. We could move to, say, a Gahanna or a Reynoldsburg. But if sports are his thing and we think that he could actually get some money to go play in college, I don't know if he's staying at Bexley.
Gotcha. Well, you also have to think if he excels in sports, you want to put him someplace where he's going to get some kind of exposure too.
Well, it's the exposure and it's to be challenged. Like, do you want to be the big dog in the small pond, or do you want to be the big dog in a big pond? Like, and I think he is. I will say right now, he's tracking past my. He's tracking past my size. Like, my thing was, I got to 9th grade and I was as big as I was ever going to be. I mean,
look at all my
6'2",
kids. They're all, the only one of my kids that's not taller than me is my daughter.
Right. And Malcolm, I see you out there in terms of saying they may not live up to their historic past, but at the same time, that historically they're just not good at sports. And yeah, I got nothing more to say on that. I mean, every once in a while they'll have a decent team. Like when I was in high school, they had an okay team. 3 or 4 years ago, they had an okay team, but there's just not.
Is it all sports they're horrible at, or just football?
You still talking about Bexley?
Yeah, and it's not. I wouldn't say all sports. I'm sure they're actually decent in kind of the individuals.
I thought they had some good baseball.
What are they decent in, Mike? What are they decent in, Mike? What are they decent in, Mike? They're not good in football. They're not good in basketball.
Individual sports like tennis,
fencing,
like fucking
wrestling.
Right.
What are we talking
about? My
point
point exactly, and I am completely on board there. So.
I'm just being honest.
No, I'm with you.
At track.
Who was the one that just said that like his kid may not go there for like if he's good at sports and he wants to do sports?
He wants to go somewhere else.
I agree with you.
And what did Shar say to that?
She's not willing to talk about it right now, but my point of view is you got what you wanted for elementary school, and we'll talk when they get to middle school.
Let's be 100 though, and this is just me being 100, completely subjective, but I'm just saying all Shar knows is that area.
Agreed.
Shar doesn't know any other area to know whether or not that may be a better fit.
Well,
now that's still her baby, and she would trust to have or want to have her baby as close to her as possible.
But I think the other side of that is that I after everything that went down with SC, with me, I wasn't pushing SC as hard. Now, before that, it was he can go to Bexley for elementary and middle school, but he's going to SC. Like, I will tell you, I'm not going to send him to Hartley unless there's a new coach by then because I can't stand their coach. But
who's their coach right now?
Brad Birchfield. And don't get me wrong, the dude is a great coach. I just think he's a trash human being.
And I can understand that. I mean, because I mean, at the same time, you get more than just sports out on that field, and you don't want your child under somebody like that.
Yeah, no. And I just having met the dude and talked with him and just how he's acted Not just with me personally, but with other folks that I've known that have interacted with. I won't have my kid play for him. Now, that's still 10 years down the line, so who knows if he's still there. The fact is that he's won, I think, 2 state titles, so there's a chance he may still be there. But I don't know.
Kind of like the coach for Steubenville.
Right.
Who lost tonight.
Did they?
Lost to Austintown Fitch 42-41 in overtime. They went for the win in overtime and didn't make it. They're still in the playoffs, though.
Well, everybody's in the playoffs. Like, we're in the playoffs, and we fucking won 1 game. We beat fucking Grandview. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Right.
We're playing an Olentangy school next week, and we'll see what the fuck
Steubenville's
happens.
playing Youngstown East at home.
Are y'all already in the playoffs?
Well, everybody made the playoffs. So this was the last week. Tonight was the last week of the regular season.
Okay, that's what I'm
And
saying.
then next week, the good teams. So basically the teams that would have made the playoffs anyways have a bye next week, and it's pretty much everybody else kind of battling it out to see who plays them the following week.
Okay.
So if you
I
think
wouldn't
about
want
it,
to buy. It's a short season anyway. I don't want to buy.
I'm with you there.
We might as well see who's going to knock off the top while they play to see who.
Well, what I think will be interesting is, you know, we've had the asterisk conversation a couple times about COVID and playing a championship sport in the COVID era. Like, are there any teams that wouldn't have made the playoffs that end up making it, like, to a regional final or to a state final? That'll be that'll be what I'm interested to see about this high school football season. But outside of that, like, it's
Let me ask you this: so all of the top teams have a bye this first week of the playoffs?
I don't know who all has a bye, but I think the top 8
for the majority. Okay,
the top 8. So what I think they did,
top 8 all have buys.
Yeah.
Listen, that's
so basically, go ahead.
That's not a good thing.
No, because what should happen is somebody should upset one of those top 8. What I'm saying is are there any teams that are outside of the top 8 that manage to upset someone 2 weeks from now?
Well, let's be honest. All you or whomever else is outside of the top 8 have to do right now, your mission right now, is make it out of the first round.
Absolutely.
Period. If y'all can win this first game, that evens out the playing field from the top to.
Now, I will tell you, I might be upset if we go out and fucking upset this team next week and end up basically making it into the real playoffs the following week.
Why would you be upset?
Just
because you're ready to be done.
I'm ready to be done, and we're not that good. And like, if we manage,
but
don't get me wrong, if we manage to pull it together, and our defense, honestly, if our defense comes together, I think our defense could keep us in any game.
It's 0-0 right now.
Right, exactly.
It's 0-0 right now. We started everything over here, so this is the time. Listen, listen. Fuck all this. This is. I wish you could talk to the kids the way you could really talk to the kids.
Right.
Because the truth is, a lot of y'all bastards aren't gonna be shit. The truth is, some of y'all bastards got something in y'all to make it beyond this level, but you're not showing what you need to show. So if you are really hungry about getting past where you are right now, this shitty situation you're in right now, focus on what we got coming up, because this is now where we're watching.
It's the whole
thing. They weren't
thing.
Watching before. Right. Now they're watching.
And that's been my conversation with my 2 guys. Like, my 2 DNs who, honestly,
I like the kids that already know that. Like, oh, this is
well, and that was the thing tonight. Like, I honestly, we're going into this game tonight, and I'm like, all right, if we play a good game, we could knock them off. But if we play the way we have the last 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to get blown out. We ended up getting blown out.
Maybe it's a motivation thing. Maybe they're the bronze. Maybe they don't like to play through the regular season if they know they're already going to be gifted a playoff spot.
I hope that's the case. And don't get me wrong. Like, I know I just said what I said around, like, I might be irritated if we make, but honestly, like, for those 2 guys, like, if that's what it takes to get them noticed,
It's not even
in.
about them two guys. That's what you got. That's what you got your
Well, that's what I focus in because like I'm just a position coach now. Like
because you got
I'm
your
not the
pockets in
coordinator.
there.
I'm not a head coach. Like if my two guys perform and if my two guys can find scholarships that they deserve,
it raises you up.
It
right.
raises everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get it.
It raises everybody up.
Right. A rising tide raises all ships. Like
I get it.
And honestly, the Tremere, the guy, like we've talked about this on the past. Like I've got Tremere and DeLeon. DeLeon is, I think, the better worker. Tremere is the better player. And Tremere fucking tonight, man, like scoop and score, fucking made half a dozen fucking tackles for loss tonight.
Do you have the Showtime app? Yeah. You got the Showtime app?
Well, I mean, I got that thing that we talked about earlier that gives me everything. So.
Okay. It's something on the Showtime app that I think you should watch.
What's that?
It correlates because you're working with kids, but it's about boxing. It's two fighters that started off the exact same. One got into trouble and went to prison for like 5-6 years, but at a young age, got out when he was like 23. The other one continued on his path. And it's the exact same thing you're talking about, where the one that continued on his path wasn't as good
as the one that
but he worked harder. And the one that went to jail was better, but didn't really work too much.
Well, he had other shit, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
One's a pure athlete and one's the harder worker.
Exactly. But spoiler alert, the dude that gets out of jail ends up having the better career. Like a 9-0 professional fighter, while the other dude quit and became a coach.
And don't get me wrong, like my whole thing is I'm going to push them both equally as hard.
And that's the only point I was trying to make is that even the one that isn't willing, you just got to tap into these kids. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks differently.
Well, and that's my thing is like the head coach will ride the one kid harder. And I'm like, dude,
everybody's different.
Up until the last 2 minutes of the game tonight, the kid that he was riding hard is the only person that scored points, and he was a defensive end scoring points.
But didn't I say that, Mike? If your offense won't score, it's up to y'all to do it.
I agree, and he took that to heart, and he fucking scored tonight. He should have had another one. He fucking batted down a ball that I thought he had, man. I thought he managed to get his other hand up there and trap it on a fucking screen pass. I think he had 2 knockdowns tonight, and he had the scoop and score, and then he had a strip sack that he couldn't get.
Right.
Like, man, dude, he had a great night and in a fucking blowout loss. Like, he had a great night.
Well, practice is over. My little nuts out there. We in the playoffs.
It's true.
Let's knock some heads off.
Malcolm out here saying, I'm not from here, so I don't know it all, but I'm just saying their historic past may not hold true. I was talking about Hartley, I think.
I think he's talking about Bexley.
Or maybe Bexley. And then he's saying, I'm trying to coach sports with y'all two one day for the kid. Dude, if I ever get a head coaching job, I'm bringing everybody.
Listen, and you know me, I'm the behind the scenes guy. I'm the guy that's going to teach you the things that nobody. Oh, did they grab your shoulders on a block?
You'll be up on the booth.
Throw your hands up under their elbows real hard one time. They won't do that again.
I tell you what works is that bull rush to the throat. Right. You catch them in the throat right here one time, they won't fucking hold you again.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That was always my joke. Was my sophomore year. I was playing at fucking camp. They moved me to center as a sophomore for the starting O-line, and I got my ass whooped by this kid that was an all-state player the year before. I'm like, you know what he taught me? He taught me the bull rush to the fucking throat.
I know that's right. Listen, you knew how aggressive was as a child, as a very young child. Listen, when I got into high school, all them tricks, I was using them tricks on my own team. No doubt. I got yelled at a few times for being too rough with teammates. Listen, You are in my way, sir.
I think I told you this, but my senior year at CMU, there was this kid that came in, freshman offensive lineman, and he made the mistake. So he was from Columbus. And so it started off nice enough. Like, he reached out to me. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Whatever. Like, yeah, happy to have you on the team, blah, blah, blah. And he made the mistake of saying, it's good for somebody coming from your school to have done what you've done. And, like, basically as an insult. And the first day of fucking full pads, man, bull rush to the throat. I fucking hit him with the STO, the leg trip. Pinned him to the ground with my hand on his throat. I'm like, you will never say another fucking word to me. Do you understand?
But
the kid quit at the end of the year.
Did he? Okay. Now, to be fair,
I don't care if he was right. The point was he should not have said that.
I'm not saying at all he could have been right, but I'm saying, do you think he could have meant it that way?
Oh no, I know what he meant.
Okay, that's what I was.
He was taking a dig, and he thought he could get away with it.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
I was not playing that game, and he quit at the end of the season because I fucking did that shit to him the first day, and then I fucking beat his ass for the next fucking 10 weeks when we got to fucking season.
That's why I like contact sports, because you can just beat on somebody you don't like.
I tell you what,
you don't have to play. You don't have to play this.
I'm with you, and I was not a big fan. I won't say hate. I was not a big fan of my high school coach. But the one thing that he used to say that resonated with me was, this is the only sport, because,
and fuck whatever. Coach Osman. You remember Coach Osman?
I do.
Yeah, that fucking nightmare followed me from Cats to fucking Gehenna.
Did he really?
And yes, he was a coach at Gehenna too. Fuck you as well.
Man. But he basically said, like, this is one of very few sports where you can go out there and legally whoop somebody's ass.
But that's
what my dad got me on
with boxing, I'm sure.
No, football. Boxing was first. Then he was like, "Hey, you ever thought about this?" And I was like, "I don't know nothing about that." Well, it's kind of similar. Well, I'm in. And ever since, I want to impose my will.
That's what with me. I mean, I didn't play a whole lot of sports in school because I was small, but played some high school football. But boxing, my dad trained fighters for 30 years.
Yeah, that's the best. That's when a little guy can equal out the playing fields real quick.
We had a heavy bag, a speed bag downstairs, an incline bench to do sit-ups, medicine balls all around the house.
Shit, my dad had me as soon as I could walk.
My dad taught me. Well, my dad had a short temper anyway, but
no, not the dude that stabbed somebody when he was 80-something.
That's the kind of people I like.
You mean felony grandpa?
Felony grandpa, that's right.
Listen, I like that shit.
And that dude followed my dad into the house.
That's true. He shouldn't have done that.
He lucky he only got stabbed.
Lucky,
could have been a lot of shit. He could have got Israel Adesanya. And after I drop you, I might hump you for a bit. I'm just playing.
See my dad teabagging a dude.
just disrespect you a little bit.
Disrespectful. That's the other soundbite we need, is the disrespectful.
I could give you a few of them.
I'm sure.
Hey, gentlemen, I'm going to get off here.
All right, sir.
Love you, Unc.
I love you, too.
It's good seeing you, man.
Like I said, you guys are all welcome out here whenever. So
yeah, listen, I might pop up one time.
Just let me know.
Will do.
All right, guys.
All right,
love
take
you.
it easy,
love
babe.
you.
Oh, man. Well,
is he frozen or he don't know how to get out?
Like. He doesn't know how to get out. He's stuck.
Blink 2 times, huh? Wave. Hold up a newspaper. Today's newspaper. Let let me know something, because that lady did. I don't know if I trust her.
Man, right?
I'm just playing.
Goodness gracious.
She got a new pool. I don't know what's under it.
Right.
Binary code. Zeros and ones.
001 001 110
Listen.
Man, I'm trying to remove them and it's not working. All right, well,
it's all right.
We'll let that ride for a minute and then we'll get back to our. There we go. All right.
What's that in the middle of us?
It was I've got a bookcase behind me, or a little bookshelf that I'm trying to show off my nerd culture behind me. So
okay,
I got the D&D player's handbook and some other shit. Just
that top and bottom there, it looked like a dashiki. I was about to say, Mike, you leaning in a little too far,
a little too much.
Biden, if I see you kneeling with a dashiki robe, I'm gonna
Wakanda forever.
Listen, and you better practice that, because
Akon forever.
We might listen. We might need it.
I mean, maybe that's where my son can go play football. He'd be the only white boy on the team. It'd be great.
That would be great. That would be great. I'm just saying, we might need to practice that.
We might. All right. Is there anything we haven't covered?
Only thing I don't know that at least you can't cover is the spread on this.
The Bills are -3.
Are they really?
I think so.
I'm telling you.
But it's still the Bills. It's still the Bills. So the Bills are still expected to win.
Who's y'all's backup quarterback?
I mean, for a minute it was Cardale. I don't know who the backup is these days.
Well, no, y'all traded him to the XFL.
Yeah. That's a good question.
You're gonna need him come Sunday. I'm telling you that right now.
Let's see. Buffalo Bills backup QB.
Because when I say that's Tim Tebow.
Oh, Matt Barkley.
I don't know who that is. Where'd he come out of?
Wasn't he USC?
Ooh, I wouldn't even know.
I'm pretty sure he was USC.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know.
He was a starter for a number of years, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he was USC. He was a starter.
Well, I don't know if I like that. I'm hoping that we don't. Josh, if I'm being honest, I'm hoping we don't. I'm hoping he stays in for the game. I don't want. Listen, I know how to
fuck around, get beat by a backup.
USC is the one. I won't say the one school, but one of the very few that.
Oh, that's right. Malcolm's calling out. He played for the Eagles for a minute, so you know he's trash.
Okay. Yeah, if the Eagles let you go. Well, I don't know, because they thought they had some with Wentz and Foles, so I'm sure they let they 4 and they 5 go.
That's right.
I'm sure they let they 4 and they 5 go. So, but if you're a 5 for the Eagles or a 4 for the Eagles.
Hey, so if we've got anybody out in the chat right now, shoot us up or hit us up in terms of, would you watch us watching the game, basically? Would you check the live stream of us watching the game?
It don't matter if y'all motherfuckers
No, we're going to do it anyways, but I'm curious if, we've got 7 to 10 people that keep popping in and out. I'm curious to see if people will watch.
You know what? You know how I know people will watch?
How's that?
Well, one, because I'm going to give you some homework when I get there on Sunday.
You can't do that now.
It ain't going to be no pop-up homework. It's going to be next time homework.
Oh, okay. All right.
But what I will say is I don't have West. I don't have NFL Network, so I can't watch the West. So what happens is I watch this dude. He's a white dude. I can't think of his name. I wish I knew his name because I would like to shout him out. He's good at what he does, and he's fun.
Okay.
He's the type of dude where he's like, okay, if the Raiders get this first down plus 5 yards, I'm taking a shot of Fireball, and we're celebrating this.
Oh, goodness gracious!
Next play, like so he gets you. He gets you. And I'm not
involved.
Saying I'm willing to do that. Now, if I was making his kind of money to where I didn't have to go to work on Monday, right. I'm doing that, of course.
Hey, man, we're up to $5 from Anchor, so.
Listen.
Which, by the way, if nothing else, I need you on Sunday. We might have to record a new live read, so come over a little early.
Man, what you saying? Hey, you ain't asked me nothing.
So we'll get you to do the new ad because
first of all, it's
ours
Sunday.
Has been on there for a minute. So mine's been on there for a minute. So you need to come rewrite the ad and basically do it yourself, or we can do a little back and forth.
We will do it together.
All right. I'll think about writing a script then.
Do that. You know I ain't gonna use it. I'm Vince Vaughn.
Right.
But I would like to understand where your angle is.
Right.
So I got it.
Well, we have to have the talking points for the ad or whatever. What's interesting right now is they've got a couple of different charity ads that are up too. So maybe we do two. Maybe we rewrite the one for Anchor, and maybe we do one of the get out the vote type things for the next couple of weeks.
Whatever. It don't matter. I'm with. Listen.
Yeah. I know your game.
What's my nigga's song? That Gavin DeGraw, I told you I was listening to him while I was at work today. I told you that before I got on the show.
Yeah.
This song, though, Brother, have you heard Brother?
I have not.
Shout out to, I'm hoping that's the name of the song. But shout out to Gavin DeGraw.
Is that the hard R or the brother?
Oh, no, it's a hard R. But, listen, all jokes aside, that song equates the same way that Utopia equates.
Okay.
And when I say that, just listen, I've heard it before, but just listening to it today made me feel a certain kind of way.
Okay.
Like I almost felt like stronger. You know what I mean?
That's a Katy Perry song. Or I think Destiny's Child did a Stronger too.
I was thinking that. What's that?
That's Katy Perry.
That's Katy Perry. Yep, you right then. You right. You were right, motherfucker. That's what I will say. But I will. We will. That's what I'm gonna start doing every episode. I'm gonna give a song.
Well, what happened to your keywords? So you've got a song now, but what happened to your keywords?
Keywords are Blue Chew, Fleshlight, Joe Rogan.
I told you, Blue Chew sponsoring everybody right now. So them and Manscaped.
Fleshlight, Manscaped. Listen, all I'm saying is I'm a licensed barber that has a lapsed barber's license. So I use my talents. I use my talents for my pubes. So you might see slits in my eyebrows. You might see 2 jet crosses over there. You might see something. I don't know. Just check me one week.
You're a fool.
Manscaped. That's the best promo you gonna get.
All right. Well, we're about at time. If there's anybody out in the chat that wants to get together for the post show, hit us up. Otherwise, we're probably just calling it a night. Cliff, you got anything to take us out?
All that. I don't even gotta say it.
Love everybody. Do us a favor. Like, subscribe, click notify. Those 3 things. That's how you help us keep doing this. If we can make a little money off of this, that's great. Don't listen to Cliff. Cliff's a fool. Actually, we're both fools. So this has been Do Fools Agree. We appreciate you, Cliff. One last chance to take us out.
That's how you get. That's how you get a cult following.
It's true.
Fuck
That's
y'all.
true.
Y'all don't gotta subscribe. If you don't feel none of this, you don't gotta subscribe, motherfucker. Shout out, Be Easy. I ain't talked to you in a while. You gonna have to be on here ASAP.
No
or
doubt.
you're disowned, motherfucker.
No doubt. All right. Take it easy, y'all. Have a good night.